All right, welcome back to Dubai. And we have got the semi-finals day, night, and also Doha semi-finals day, night. Big matches coming up. Women's semi-finals, we've got 4 top 10 players in the semis, even though it's been the injury open. We've had so many players pull out before the tournament, withdraw throughout the tournament, retire throughout matches. We still have the 4 of the top 10 players. I think there was only about 6 top 10 players who joined, and 4 of them have made the semis. So, that's impressive. That is, we had 7 top 10 players. 4, Andreeva lost, Raducanu retired, Paolini lost. But the 4 top 10 players that are in the semis have all played already this year, which is another reason why it's a very interesting lineup. Starting with Anisimova, Pagula, these two have played 4 times. Pagula's won every match. They played in Melbourne quarterfinals. Pagula won that in straights. All the pressure's on Anisimova. And then later, we've got Gauff versus Svitolina, rematch of the quarterfinals of Melbourne as well. That head-to-head's a little bit closer. But, it's going to be a very interesting night. And then we go to Doha. We watch Alcaraz play Rublev. And then we watch Menchik taking on Fils to finish it off. And, it's a big day. Today's a big, big day. But how are we doing, chat? Are we ready? Are we ready? Watching TV, but thanks, Cam. Hoping people keep engaged with streaming. Hey, look, there's people here, so I don't know what you... if people weren't here, I wouldn't be here either. Nobody shows up, then I wouldn't show up to work. That's not true. I probably would. I just talk to myself like I just talked to my dog. Injury open needs to be demoted to a 250. Nah. Look who's in the semis. Are you kidding me? 250? We've got 4 top 10 players in the semis. Come on now. There definitely needs to be some change of the schedule, but I tell you, Dubai would look at this lineup and go, whew, we dodged a bullet, considering that so many players pulled out and so many players. They got a good semi-final lineup. Despite all the injuries and all the withdrawals. So Dubai, and plus Dubai rode that Eala wave all the way to the quarterfinals. So, Dubai's probably not thinking too bad about, they're not probably not, the WTA are not looking at Dubai thinking it's a failure. I don't think so. Even if at the start of the week, Dubai were, the tournament director was a little bit worried. Does Anisimova have a chance? Yes. I think she does. In fact, I picked her to win. Percentage chance that Fils beats Alcaraz. Well, Fils got to beat Menchik. Alcaraz got to beat Rublev first. We'll get to that tomorrow if it happens. New live listener, I love this way of watching. Thank you. Hey, Lauren, appreciate that. Thanks for joining. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want a Gauff Pagula final. Okay. We're ready? Get ready. Lock in, because this is going to be a day. We have got some very high quality matchups coming up. Yesterday, by the way, we streamed 12 hours straight. 5 matches back to back to back to back. And 4 of those 5 matches went 3 sets. We were spoiled yesterday in the quarterfinals. We got spoiled. And we didn't even watch Doha and... not Doha. We didn't even watch Delray Beach or Rio, and they also had some banger matches. So, I'll tell you, yesterday was a big day of tennis for all the tournaments involved. Unfortunately, Fonseca lost in a 3-setter, but he lost to a young guy, a fellow young guy, 21-year-old from Peru, Ignacio Buse. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, but... So that's interesting. So another one we got to put on that radar. By the way, there's 1 seed left in Rio. And that's Echeverry. So that's interesting. All the seeds in Rio have just gone. Delray Beach also had some bangers. Tian Kecmanovic was obviously a banger. You had Tiafo going 3. Rude had a banger the other day. Fritz Paul, quarterfinal. That's interesting. Tien versus Tiafo. I mean, yeah, Delray Beach, even though it's a 250, it's getting pretty interesting. So it's been a pretty hectic week. So Abuse played challenges last week. He has a firepower like Fonseca and he's a big lad. Ooh, okay. I see him, like, every time we do the ranking show, he always seems to be career high ranking. So I'm like, okay, this kid's getting better and better. I noticed him on the Next Gen Finals list as well last year. So, yeah. It's Buse. Okay. Buse. Well, hey, we're going to watch that guy in the future. We'll watch him. If he keeps doing his thing, we'll watch him. Beast yesterday, yeah. I mean, yesterday was just a long day. We got there though. Helps when the matches are good. When we do a long day and there's no good matches, that's when streaming's hard when there's nothing, when it's not interesting. But when things are going crazy and we got matches on matches on matches on matches, then time flies. It's already 1 a.m. here and we haven't even started yet. All right. But here we go. Let's see what Anisimova can do. I put my faith in her to get a win here because I know she hasn't won against Pagula before. Yeah, match was delayed because there was doubles. So doubles match pushed this one back. It isn't actually that bad for the schedule because the next match starts in about an hour and a half or hour and 20. So it actually worked out pretty well that we'll be able to watch this one, the next one, and then just move on all the way through. So delayed start, but then we'll just go from start to finish now. So yeah. Let's watch Buse. He's going to be a big player. All right. We'll put him on the list of players to watch. We might not get to watch him until maybe the clay, unless he plays a big boy in Indian Wells or Miami. But we'll definitely write him on the list as one to watch. Rafael Nadal is another good player. Oh yeah, no, we've got him on the list. We've watched him before, I think. We haven't watched him. Maybe we've put it. He's on the list. Maybe we haven't watched him yet, but definitely one to watch. I want Amanda to win, even though I like both ladies. Hey, fair enough. Rio being a 500 just feels weird, wrong, to be honest, even comparing Delray Beach. Yeah, look, and I think Rio, unfortunately, while looking at the list of Rio tournaments in Rio, the players in Rio, it's only got one seeded player left in the draw, but it's still got Tabilo, Berrettini, they're former top 30 players, right? So it's not like it's a bad lineup, but yeah, Rio as a 500, I know what they're trying to do. But when this Saudi 1000 comes in and just like elbows everything out the way, that tournament's going to be interesting where it lands. I know there was like in Buenos Aires, the ATP president went there, or CEO, right? He went there, and they were saying positive things like, oh yeah, they're very happy with the tournament and blah 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 blah. It doesn't mean it's going to be there in 2 years. Like that, it might be in Buenos Aires, but it might not be in February. It sucks because I really want to watch a full South American tour. Like I want to watch it personally, but we just never get the chance because there's just so much going on in the Middle East that we have to focus on that. We never get a shot to go, like we don't get to go to Buenos Aires very often or Rio or whatever, or Chile. I'd love it if it was a little bit more separated, like, had its own spot. So that way we could actually appreciate it and watch it. But when the Middle East has got all these tournaments and these massive players playing, it's like, it sucks, man, that we can't watch it. And that also it doesn't get the players, the lineup that it deserves. I reckon that deserves, I don't know how they could do it, but it would be really interesting if they could, like, bring Indian Wells, Miami forward and then have, like, after Miami, people can go down to South America and then to Europe. Like, that would be an interesting kind of way to... But you never bring in... Maybe what you do is you flip Miami onto before Indian Wells. So you just pick Miami up and you flip it and you put it at the end of Feb. I don't know how everything else works, but I'm just thinking of, like, this part of the tour. And then you put Rio... And then after Indian Wells, you go to Rio... That would actually be a better transition onto slower courts too, because you go Miami, Indian Wells, and then slow courts of clay. Like that would actually make more sense. Transitioning into the slow courts, right? And then you go down, and then after Indian Wells, you can go down to Buenos Aires, down to Rio, and then go over to Monte Carlo. Hey, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Don't ask me what happens in the middle. I don't know what I don't know what happens before Miami. I mean, then again, you got Delray Beach, you got Dallas, Miami. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad of a. You could go Delray Beach, Dallas, Miami, Indian Wells, and then South America, and then go to the Clay. Actually, chat. The more I say it, the more it actually feels like it should happen. That actually doesn't actually sound like the worst thing ever. I don't know what the scheduling would be for Miami if they would be allowed to do it before Indian Wells, and also how would they build the court if they're playing football, but I guess they're not playing football, right? I don't know. Anyways, we'll just have to wait and see what happens when the Saudi 1000 comes in. Anyways, Anisimova to serve. I've got Anisimova in 3. I reckon she gets a win. Her first win. All right, Anisimova serves. And Pagula in there in the return. 15-love. Is Anisimova wearing jewelry? Is that why she looks different to yesterday? She looks a lot more like dressed up, but I think it's the earrings. I think it's the jewelry. What's my UTR? I'm retired. 15-love. It must be the jewelry, right? It's the earrings. That's what she looks like. She looks fancy. Cerundolo hurt. What a shame. Yeah, Cerundolo. He was saying that the scheduling was a little bit unfair for him. He was he made some interesting comments. Anyways, 30-15. Yeah, both these ladies had long matches yesterday. Yeah, Anisimova's match was a little bit later though. They both got 24 hours to be ready for this. As a return goes in the forehand of Anisimova, that's a great shot. Anisimova did get one less match to play, though, this week. So she got a walkover in the second round. Third round was pretty straightforward. Fourth round, aka quarterfinals, she had a battle. Pagula played an extra match. So it's probably all evens out. 40-15. As a return goes into the forehand of Anisimova, Anisimova hits out, 40-30. Who you got winning this one, chat? Let me know in the chat who is winning this match. Who have you got? Yeah, Pagula did play doubles yesterday. You're right. Pagula in 3, Anisimova. I got Amanda to get over the hill today. Amanda, Pagula in 2, Anisimova in 2. Okay. 40-30. I'm still in shock that Menchik beat Sinner. I can't believe that happened. Like, not like in a bad way. I'm shocked. Like, holy shit, that did happen. God, there is some change going on in the ATP. A little bit of change. All right, Deuce. Anisimova making some errors. Three tiebreaks, Amanda. Wow, that'd be epic. As Pagula in there on the return for advantage Anisimova. All right, advantage Anisimova. Serving the backhand of Pagula for Anisimova, but Pagula hit it long on the return. All right. First game of the match goes to Anisimova. All right. By the way, Chad, I've been putting together like I said the other day, I've been putting together a list of Grand Slam champions by age. It's coming together pretty nicely. I'm liking the how it looks. Shubham.
Question: if you got a chance to go back in time and change the result of a match, then what would you change?
2005 Australian Open final, Leighton beat Safin. Thank you for the donation. Easy. Hewitt beat Safin in that 05 final. That's the one I'll change. That's the one. No doubt. All right, as we get a backhand out from Pagula into the slice of Anisimova. Pagula forehand. Anisimova passing shot winner. All right, 15 love. Cam had that answer in his pocket, yeah. All day. Easiest question to answer. A lot of people thinking like, Wimbledon final or blah, blah, blah. No. Leighton wins the 05 AO. That fairy tale run is complete. All right, 15 all. All right, 15 all. As we default second serve. Second serve in the forehand of Anisimova. Good return. Pagula forehand goes long, and it's 15-30. Little chance here for Anisimova to get the break. Roddick beating Federer and Wimbledon. Okay. 15-30. Into the backhand rally. Slice goes long from Anisimova, and it's 30 all. By the way, Chad, I'm just going to warn you now. So tomorrow night's final, I think it starts... Does anyone know exactly the start time of the women's final? I think it starts in about an hour from now, but to like 24 hours from so 25 hours from now, I think. I hope I'm going to be back in time for it, but if I'm not, we will be watching it. I might just be a little bit delayed. I just got to... So if I'm not here exactly on the dot on the start time, I'm going to try and get here as quickly as... I'm going to try and get here on time. But I might not be here. I'm hoping I can be. But if I'm not, if I'm late, you'll know that I warned you. I'm going to try my best, though, to get back. Return winner Anisimova. All right. Yeah, I'm doing everything I can to plan to be back on time because I don't want to miss any of the final. But just in case you're wondering, tomorrow if I'm not live on time, I won't be far away. At worst, I'm probably going to be like a 30-minute delay, but I doubt that'd be the worst. Would I get a time violation? I mean, I hope not. Anyways, backhand rally. So yeah, just a heads up, just in case you're wondering, tomorrow if I'm not live on the dot, I should be. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to plan it, but it's hard to plan when. It's hard to plan. But I'm hoping to be back on time, and if I'm not back on time, I won't be far away. 15 love. But also the men's finals at I think they've staggered the men's final to be. To give the women's final its own time, and then they do the men's final after in Doha, which is really cool. So we'll watch the men's final 100% from the start, but it's just the women's final. I'm hoping, I'm going to try my best to get here before it starts, but if I'm a little late, I thought you're always on time. I am always on time. That's why I'm giving you a heads up that tomorrow I might be a little bit off. Because I'm going somewhere tomorrow. 15 all. And that place that I'm going is very, very far away. It's not around the corner. All right, double fault, 15-30. $15.30. As Anisimova gets to 30 all. As a backhand in net by Pagula, 40-30, Anisimova, great start. Much, much better start than when she was playing in Melbourne. Much better start. 40-30. You can maybe just leave the score. I don't know how that works. Well, I won't be at my house, so I can't do that. As a return goes in the forehand of Anisimova, forehand from Pagula. That goes wide. 3-love. Yeah, I won't. I'll be on the road, so I don't know if the match starts, I can't start the stream. But like I said, if I'm not here, I'll jump in the chat if I'm not back on time, and I'll just make sure I update you in the chat. If I'm planning to be back on time, but I'm just in case. You just never know. When you're driving hours from your house, you just got to be careful. But don't worry. Please try your best. I will. Trust. That's why I'm giving you all a heads up. If I'm not here in time. But if I'm not here in time, we'll probably miss like a half a set. Like, we're not going to miss. It would be a pretty shit situation if I missed a whole set or even the whole match. All right. Anisimova, 3-love in 11 minutes. What a start. All right. If Cam is late, we riot. Okay. All right, 3-love. Three love to start this off. As Pagula serves. Into the back of Anisimova. Backing up Pagula is a winner. Great shot. Love 15 love. Thanks, Tori. Appreciate it. It's the first winner that Pagula has hit for the match. As Pagula serves a let. As a return from Anisimova is a winner. Beautiful shot. 15-0. 15-0. As a return goes down the line for another winner from Anisimova. Jeez. Anisimova came to play. She's like, you ain't beaten me 5 times in a row. 15-30. What a start. As Pagula serves. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Forehand from Pagula. Again to the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula, forehand down the line winner. That's a good shot. 30-0. Nice hitting from Pagula. 30-0. As Pagula serves again. To the back of Anisimova. Return goes out. 40-30. 40-30. As Pagula serves again. And it's a fault. Oh, no, it was in. All right. Anisimova in the net. And it's 3-1. Pagula holds. All right, 15 minutes. Oh, by the way, chat, 50 days in a row of streaming. Congratulations, we made it. I don't know how we did it. Oh, man. Oh, you okay? He's getting excited. I don't know how we did it, but we're 50 days in a row, which is crazy. I don't know if it's the longest streak we've ever done, because I think we've probably watched 50 days in a row before, but I don't think we've watched every day of the season to start the year. So thank you for hanging out. It's been... It has not been a plan to watch every single day of the year, but here we are. Next week definitely will be a lighter week before we do Indian Wells, Miami back-to-back, and then we go to the clay. And that's usually the biggest, the clay's usually the... I mean, I like the clay season, but definitely the longest part of the year, because it's just like every week there's a big tournament coming up. All right, nice hitting from Pagula. $15. There's Anisimova serves. Into the backhand of Pagula. Anisimova backhand to the backhand of Pagula. Sliced. In the net. And it's 30-15. We all like clay season. Yeah, clay season is awesome. Yeah, the hard part about February is the times of all the tournaments are all different. There's like all these different time zones, whereas at least with the clay season, we stay in Europe. So we're kind of... Everything's around the same time within an hour of each other. There's Anisimova in the net with a forehand, 30-all. Whereas February, we're going with like, we've got Doha, Dubai time, and then we've got, America time. We've got some European stuff going on. It's just like February is always such a juggling act. All right, 30-0. 7 to the 4 to Pagula return into the 4 of Anisimova. Anisimova hits it out. Pagula with a chance to break back. Indian Wells is the worst time zone. No, Indian Wells is a great time zone. I love Indian Wells time zone. I get to wake up at like 5 a.m. and start watching tennis, and then all day I get to just hang out. It's probably my favorite, might be my favorite time zone. That and like the European clay, what starts at like 7 p.m. From 7 p.m. until like 3 a.m. Or if I'm starting at 6 a.m. until like 2 in the afternoon. Like Indian Wells, I like the Indian Wells times. Indian Wells time zone is good. And Anisimova survives, we get the deuce. You live near Indian Wells. Oh, nice. First serve the fault, second serve. As the return goes into the form of Anisimova, but Anisimova sprays it wide. And it's advantage Pagula. Advantage Pagula to take back the break. All right. As we get a forehand from Anisimova to the slice of Pagula. Anisimova cross court the forehand of Pagula. Again, the forehand of Anisimova. Down the line's a great shot, and Pagula can't get it. And we get back to deuce. All right, another good serve by Anisimova. And it's advantage Anisimova. As Anisimova hits in the net, we get back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. There's a backhand return from Pagula. Goes the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula backhand slice. Anisimova backhand again to the slice of Pagula. Anisimova backhand again to the backhand of Pagula. Off the tape. Anisimova readjusts. Go to the net. And Pagula hits a forehand, but it's just wide. Advantage. Anisimova to keep the break. To go to 4-1. 20 minutes played. This has been the longest game of the match so far. There's a bit of fault second serve. Serving to the forehand of Pagula. Return. Winner. Back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. As Anisimova serves again. As the return goes in the net by Pagula. Advantage Anisimova. For a 4-1 lead. Jess is fighting for her life. She's definitely fighting to try and break back. Anisimova is just being too solid. As the backhand goes down the line from Anisimova. Pagula in the net. And Anisimova holds strong, keeps that break. All right, 4-1, Anisimova. All right, good stuff from Anisimova. Clutch from in that game. All right, how we doing, chat? Finals is at stake, even if it's just one game. I mean, this is a massive final, though. This isn't just any final. It's a 1,000 final. That's a big deal. All right. 4-1. So after this, we've got the second semi-final, which is between Gauff and Svitolina, which I'm excited to watch to see how Coco is after the match that they played in Australia, because that was by far her most disappointing performance. She wasn't playing too bad up until that match, but that match she just completely everything went completely wrong. So I'm excited to see what adjustments she's made and to see how she does. And hopefully it's a better performance. We're still alive despite the midnight and early morning games, Cam? Yeah. How are you adjusting from Aussie time to Europe, Middle East time? Not too bad. I naturally stay up late, so I'm not too... it doesn't really hurt me. It's more just like the going to bed at 8 a.m. That's been a little bit awkward, but I'm not super mad at staying up late. I like staying up late. Staying up after midnight is fine by me. It's just hearing the birds in the morning and watching the sun come up as I go to sleep. That's not... that's a little bit... It's a little bit weird, but... At least I know right now at 1 o'clock in the morning, everybody I know is asleep. So, and there's nothing to do. Like, there's nothing... If I went outside right now, there's nothing open. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Anyways, love 30. Pagula is in big trouble. Love 30. As the return goes into the forehand of Pagula. Pagula hits out, love 40. Anisimova to take a 5-1 lead. Next big tournament, Indian Wells is the next big event. Next week there's some events, but Dubai and Acapulco are missing some stars. As we got a 4-1 rally. Anisimova down the line. Too good. Anisimova playing way too good right now for Pagula. And she takes a 5-1 lead. She's going to serve the set. All right. 5-1 in 26 minutes. All right. Well done for 50 days. Thank you. I don't know if it's that much of an achievement, but it's more just it's just the grind. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. Serve again. Ooh, double fault. All right, love 15. I think it's Pagula not playing well. Yeah, Pagula's definitely struggling. But Anisimova is hitting clean. Like, the first 3 games, Anisimova, it was all her. And there's a little chance there for Pagula, but Anisimova held strong and then got another break. So Anisimova is definitely playing the better of the two. Backhand to backhand rally. As it goes out by Pagula, 15-0. It'll be interesting to see the stats after this because, she's not hitting as clean as she usually does. She's making some errors. But, again, I feel like it's Anisimova forcing the errors out of Pagula. And as we get a return into the backhand of Anisimova. Backhand from Pagula in the net. Anisimova hit the baseline. All right, 30-15. To beat Amanda twice in a month would be impressive. Yeah. I mean, Pagula doesn't lose to Anisimova. It's never happened. Except for an exhibition, I think at the end of last year, they played 2 exhibition matches. I think Anisimova won one of those. All right, 40-15. 40-15, Anisimova to take the first set. Serve. To the backhand of Pagula, return goes short. Anisimova backhand to the backhand of Pagula. Pagula hits it out, and Anisimova takes the set. 6-1. And even Pagula's like, geez, that was that was strange. That doesn't happen. 29 minutes. 6-1. All right, let's see what these stats show because it just felt like Anisimova was just too strong. All right, first set, 6-1. 4 winners, 3 errors from Pagula. Not bad, but Anisimova, 8 winners, 11 errors. To be honest, it wasn't actually, I mean, maybe the serving of Anisimova was a little better, but they both had 2 break points. And Anisimova just converted them. That's the only difference, really. Anisimova more aggressive. I want to see forced errors. That would have been a better stat to show. Because I feel like even though Pagula's not making unforced errors, Anisimova is forcing her to make errors. And that's an interesting stat that would be nice to see. But they're not showing it. Anisimova's winning 71% of first serve points, which is a huge stat as well. Just shows how good her serve is on the first. All right, that was a dominant start. Let's see if Pagula can bring it back. Anisimova versus Gauff final? Yeah, maybe. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it. All right. First set in the bag. And we do have Gauff versus Svitolina. After this, should be coming up shortly. I mean, it could be coming up in 2 hours. I mean, this match could start to go slow. First set was 29 minutes. All right, Pagula to serve. As with a fault second serve. His return goes down the line. Great return. Anisimova, forehand cross-court winner. Jeez. She's been watching Sabalenka versus Pagula highlights, for sure. She's got to be watching those highlights of Pagula versus Sabalenka because she is playing like Sabalenka. She is bullying Pagula like Sabalenka. Are you still using the whiteboard? Yeah. There's just nothing to talk about with the whiteboard right now. 400 rally. That goes out by Anisimova 15. Oh. What are these two live rankings? Great question. Great question. So, Pagula is number 5 and Anisimova is number 6. Now, if Anisimova wins this match, she will be number 5, overtaking Pagula. If Pagula wins, she'll stay number 5. And Pagula and Anisimova will stay number 6. So this match will determine who's going to be number 5. Winner of this match will be number 5 going into next week. But no change other than that. But these two are battling for that number 5 spot. But the number 5 spot's not super important. Number 5 and 6, like they're pretty interchangeable. It's number 4 you want to be, but they're too far away from 4. And Svitolina's too far back to do any damage. If she wins the tournament, she'll still be 2,000 points behind. So, yeah, but I'll tell you though, if Svitolina wins the tournament, she could be in the top 8, which is a huge boost. But yeah, so really the winner of this match goes to number 5, but it doesn't really change unless somebody pulls out of Indian Wells, Sabalenka, Swiatek, Raducanu, and Gauff. Number 5 doesn't really change much in the rankings, or it doesn't change much in the seeds in tournaments, you know. All right, 15-40. Return goes into the forehand of Pagula. Pagula puts it away. One saved, 30-40. Coco wins tournament. She's number 3. Yes. Coco wins the tournament. She's number 3. Almost number 2. Her, I'll tell you, going to Indian Wells, if Coco wins this tournament, Swiatek 7,600, Gauff 7,400, Raducanu 7,200. So Indian Wells gets really interesting. Indian Wells is going to be there's a lot on the line. Svitolina is going to win the tournament. Okay. All right. Well, Anisimova broke. To start the second, everything froze. We're back. 1-love. As the backhand return goes out by Pagula, 15-love. Pagula just not being able to make Anisimova play enough shots. The thing that she did so well in Australia was Anisimova was hitting just as well, but Pagula was able to just redirect the power a lot better than she is tonight. There's a backhand slice now from Pagula into the backhand of Anisimova. Anisimova hits out. Also, the slice was really good on that day too. She was hitting a lot more variation than just hitting the the routine shots. All right, 15-all. Ace on the tee. All right, 30-15. As the return goes to 4 minutes over, and it's over in the net. All right. 30-all. She serves an ace out wide. There we go. Clutch. 40-30. Anisimova to go to 2-love in the second. Serve again. Into the back of Pagula. Pagula hits it out. And it's 2-love. Anisimova leads. All right, 2-love. Could you explain 500 1000 events means in your beginner's guide? Yeah, sure. Why should Pagula retire? I don't know. Pagula just retire at this point? I think somebody might be losing money. Just, you picked, why did you bet on... didn't you watch my preview, bro? Anyway, slice goes up into the sky. The hell? And then Pagula puts it away. Did you even watch my preview? Didn't they make AO court slow, especially Rod Laver one? I don't think so. Not slow. Why did I bet on Pagula? I don't know. Did a backhand out from Pagula into the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand again to the forehand of Anisimova. That's a winner by Anisimova. She is hitting so clean. No, I didn't watch your preview. Well, there you go. That was your first mistake. 15-all. 15-all. Pagula serves again. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Anisimova hits it out. 30-15. Serve again. As a return from Anisimova goes long. 40-15. As a default second serve. As a return goes in the forehand to Pagula. Forehand now goes long by Pagula. 40-30. Pagula's won 0% of second serve points. That's crazy. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Oh, double fault, Pagula. Oh. All right. We get the deuce. And there's some over going for that double break. We get the deuce. Serving to the backhand of Anisimova. Return goes backhand off Pagula. Anisimova backhand pass. Oh, too good. All All right, advantage Anisimova for the double break. What a shot. It's the backhand. That's the weapon. Great shot. Even if Pagula gives it a round of applause. Serve. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Return goes long, and it's back to deuce. Back to deuce. How does tennis work? I tell you, it's not that easy to break it down. It's not easy. It's not that simple. How does it work? Well, okay. So the aim of the game is to get to. You got to win 2 out of the 3 sets. 1 set, you got to get to 6. First to 6 usually wins the set, and you got to do that twice to win a match. And usually a tournament has between 4 to 7 matches you have to win, depending on how important the tournament is. There are 4 points in a game. So if you win 4 points, you usually win a game. And you got to win 6 games to win the set. And you got to win 2 sets to win the match. That's as much as I can break it down, I think. All right, advantage Pagula. 7 to the back of Anisimova. Return goes out. Pagula holds. 2-1 Anisimova. And so Pagula's coach yawns because he's having a lot of fun. All right, 2-1. Bad timing. Just looked straight at him while he was yawning. All right. Pagula playing like a 47 in the world. Really? What is day 50? Which is mentioned here? Day 50 is the 50th day of streaming in a row. Yeah. It just signifies how many days of streaming in a row. So today's the 50th day. It's also the 50th day of the season. All right. 2-1. Pagula needs to get the break back. She's had chances to break back. She has had chances to break back, but she hasn't been able to. She's had chances to break in general, but she didn't take them. And Anisimova did. Is there a countdown of how many days left until you lose your mind? No, because that's already happened. Never seen Jessica Pegula play this bad. She's not playing bad. It's just she's getting overpowered. Like, this is a very similar matchup to Sabalenka. We've seen Sabalenka do this to Pegula many times. It just comes out and overpowers her. Pegula's, like I said with the stats, not playing bad. She's just getting overpowered, and her second serve is getting attacked, which is exactly what Sabalenka does against Pegula. Love 15. "45 minutes played." And the match is going quick, so it kind of feels like... it kind of feels like this is going real crazy. Should we be worried about Sinner? No. As that goes the net by Anisimova, love 30. Now, the difference between Sabalenka and Anisimova is Anisimova can also, even in a winning position, can also get frustrated and give back the break. So Pagula just needs to hang in there long enough that Anisimova might give her an opportunity to break back, like now. Love 30. As a backhand return goes into the forehand of Anisimova. Backhand now from Pagula. Anisimova backhand goes wide. And it's love 40. 3 break points in a row now. Anisimova serves. A fault. Second serve. Into the backhand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova. Again to the forehand of Pagula as Anisimova forehand drop shot. Pagula gets up with a slice down the line and Anisimova volleys it. Open court for the winner. And it's 15-40. One saved. 15-40. As Anisimova hits a forehand back behind Pagula, and we get to 30-40. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Pagula. Backhand from Anisimova. Into the backhand of Pagula. As Anisimova backhand to the forehand of Pagula. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula. Down the middle. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand in the net. And Anisimova gets the deuce. Good fight back from Anisimova. Deuce. Of course, Sinner won't win every tournament, but Menchik is a great player. But along if things like forehand and baseline game didn't seem to be going well yesterday. Sinner is fine. Let's not lose our minds. I know, like, a lot of people are, and as it should be, because this is what sports is all about, you know, rivalries and rivals, you know, this is what it's about. I feel like a lot of the Sinner is not as good as everyone thought he was conversation is coming from Alcaraz fans, and that's okay, because Alcaraz fans have to take that shit when Sinner wins and Alcaraz loses. So it's the same, like when Alcaraz lost in Paris to Norrie, they were hearing the same thing going, oh, maybe Alcaraz is not as good as we all thought. That comes back and forth every single time. But everyone who's talking about Sinner being not good, if you're hearing that, like, oh, Sinner needs to be worried, he's not playing good, he's like, oh my God, lost to Djokovic, now Menchik, what next? No, the alarm bell shouldn't be ringing. Because the way Menchik played yesterday, we've seen a player do that against Sinner before. And Sinner took a loss. And that was in Halle last year when Bublik did it. So, no. And by the way, we walked into that match, if you remember yesterday, we walked into that match knowing that Menchik was capable of doing some things. We knew that his game was dangerous, right? Not just against Sinner, but against Djokovic last year in Miami, against anybody. Menchik has a scary game. So again, I don't think alarm bell should be ringing for Sinner. Or you shouldn't be worried about Sinner yet. He lost to Djokovic in 5 sets at the Australian Open, and he lost to Menchik in a 3-setter yesterday. Call me if he hasn't won a title by Wimbledon. I think that's when we got to be like, he hasn't won a title since, all year, and we're 6 months in. That's probably a little bit concerning. But he's only 2 tournaments down, and he's played a massive hitter who, played the match of his life so far, I reckon. That was awesome by Menchik. And then he played the greatest player of all time. Nothing to worry about. 2 losses. It happens. As the return goes into the forehand of Anisimova. Forehand now from Pagula. Goes down the line. Great shot. Slice from Anisimova. Drop shot Pagula. Anisimova gets it with an easy winner down the line. And it's 3-1 Anisimova. So yeah, I wouldn't be... I'm not worried about Sinner. The thing I do think about, though, is like, after the US Open, when he said, oh, I need to change some things, I mean, there was definitely matches during the US Open, not just the final, that he didn't play his best. But I feel like he needs to just go back to the solid baseline guy. Yeah, people are going to have going to hit some big shots on him. But those drop shots were like yesterday, the drop shot didn't work. And it really, he hits at least 5 drop shots in the net, and they were terrible. And there was some drop shots at very important times that he missed. Like doing drop shots, I feel like if he went to do his normal game where he kind of grinds, he could have maybe grounded out a little bit more instead of drop shotting it in certain moments. I was at a 30-all point where he hit a drop shot and it was terrible. When he could have just rallied a little longer. I think things like that. But again, Mensik played a hell of a match. Mensik played great. And we all knew Mensik was capable of big things because of his game. I think if Mensik beats Alcaraz to win this title in Doha, I don't think anyone will be faulting Sinner at that point as Pagula hits a backhand winner 15-0. But yeah, I mean, anybody who's screaming about how Sinner's not good is not a Sinner fan or has a bias towards other players and doesn't want Sinner to do well. And that's okay. That's sports. I don't expect Man City supporters to support Liverpool, right? If Liverpool lose 5-0 to somebody, I don't think the Man City fans are going to be like, yeah, but they try pretty hard. It's sports. People are not going to be, people are going to have their bias against or for players, right? But yeah, I wouldn't be sounding the alarm on Sinner yet. Also, he lost in the quarterfinals. Call me when he loses first round to a random person we didn't expect. On a surface, if he loses second round Miami against a qualifier, then call me. 4-1 rally. As that goes in the net by Anisimova, 40-15. 40-15. Pagula to stay close. What will happen if the big two becomes just Alcaraz? Then it won't. It's not going to be just Alcaraz. Anyway, it's 40-15. As it a let from Pagula. As we just served down to the backhand of Anisimova, backhand of Pagula to the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula slice. Into the backhand of Anisimova. It's Pagula backhand again. Into the backhand of Anisimova on the stretch. Oh, she just missed it. 3-2. Pagula. Sorry, 3-2 Anisimova. Pagula holds. If it becomes just Alcaraz, that would be interesting. Because then it'll be interesting to watch Sinner try and chase him down along with everybody else. If Sinner goes back to the pack a little bit and joins the rest of the group of oh man. But by the way, it's not just Alcaraz because Sinner's not losing to just Alcaraz. If he was losing to just Alcaraz and Alcaraz was beating everybody, but Alcaraz hasn't beaten Sinner yet this year, right? They haven't played. So it can't be just Alcaraz because Alcaraz hasn't played Sinner yet. Until Alcaraz plays Sinner, and if Sinner still can't get a title by, like I said, again, I think there's a lot of overreactions when we have an upset, and Mensik beating Sinner should not be a surprise if you've been paying attention to Mensik. Mensik is capable. He won Miami. He beat Djokovic in the final of Miami, first try. He beat Draper after Draper come off Indian Wells in Miami. I know there's a different court and maybe Draper was tired, but still, he beat Draper in the second round of that Miami tournament, right? I think he beat Fritz in the semis, right? Again, Mensik on no experience to that point. He had played tennis, but he hadn't played that level of opposition back to back. So, I mean, we know Mensik's capable. He's been injured lately. He's not been as good as we expected post-Miami. So him beating Sinner, I mean, it was only going to be a matter of time before he showed us again why we were so excited about him, right? All right, 3-2. And now I'm excited to see Menchik versus Feast, because one of them might get a crack at Alcaraz, and then let's say if Menchik beats Alcaraz too, then you got to go, oh, maybe it's not Sinner's problem, maybe it's Menchik's. Menchik is him, right? Menchik is that good. If Feast beats Menchik and then beats Alcaraz, then you got to go, oh shit, okay, there's two guys there that we got to run up. Again, I think tennis is such a short memory sport, right? We remember what happened last week. We don't remember what happened 2 weeks ago. And we definitely don't remember what happened at the end of last year, right? Or whatever. So the fact that Menchik and Feast and these guys have not won lately, we forget about them. And then when they do something special, we're like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy was good. Or people don't remember he was good, and they're like, oh wow, that was crazy. Yeah, but he also beat Djokovic in a final of a 1,000. The guy with the Golden Masters and more 1,000s than anybody else, Menchik beat him in a final of a 1,000. That's a big deal. But we forgot because it was like, might as well have been 10 years ago, right? All right, 15-0. And Feast has been injured, so we forgot how good he was against Alcaraz on the clay last year. Draper hasn't played for a while. When he comes back, we're going to have to remember what he was doing 12 months ago. As it a 4 now passing shot from Anisimova. Volley from Pagula is too good. 15-30. But I'm excited. I think it's good. It's a good thing that the young guys are doing stuff. Seems both Wimbledon winners last year haven't been playing their best since. Well, I mean, on Swiatek's side of things, it's a lot harder on the women's side because there's a lot more players, established top 10 dangerous players than there was, than there is on the men's side. On the men's side, you've got two guys that are well and truly above everybody, and then, other players are trying to climb. On the women's side, Swiatek's in a fight with, at least another 7 or 8 players as Anisimova volleys it in the net. And it's 15-40. Break points Pagula to get back on serve. Rooting for Menchik Feast to beat Sinkeraz. Yeah, that would be a nice, refreshing start to the year too. I kind of want Feast to... If Feast beat Alcaraz in the final, that would probably be better for tennis. Because the thing that's going to happen with Menchik, unfortunately, if he beats Alcaraz as well, is everyone's going to be like, well, Menchik's the third guy, and now we have a big three. And then the next tournament Menchik plays, if he doesn't win it, everyone's going to be like, well, he was good for a week. I guess he's not that good. And I don't want that for Menchik. Anyways, that goes out by Anisimova. We're back on serve 3-0. I already know this is how tennis works, right? We go, where's the big three? We've got two. We need a third person. Is it Runa? Is it Draper? Is it somebody else? And then Menchik goes on and beats Sinner. And it's like, maybe it's him. And then if he beats Alcaraz, it is him. And then he goes and loses second, third round of Indian Wells. Overhyped. He's overrated. Menchik's not that good. And that's like, we're just going a loop. You already know I'm right, chat. You know I'm right. So I hope Feast wins against Menchik, but then and maybe beats Alcaraz, and then we talk about Feast and Menchik. Because they deserve to be both spoken about. And I also don't want all the pressure to be on Menchik to be the third guy, right? The big three. He's the third man. I don't want that pressure on him because it's not fair. Just because he beats Sinner doesn't mean he should be given the pressure of the world to be the third man, the third guy. That's not fair. And also, it's probably not good for his progress with that expectation. Backhand winner from Anisimova, 15-0. 15-0. Also, Big Three is that's a special time that happened, and we should keep that in the 2010s. We shouldn't try and recreate Big Three. That's kind of silly. They tried to do that in the NBA. The Big Three was established, and then they tried to do it again, and I don't think Miami won all the championships they thought they would. 15-0. As a return goes into the forehand of Pagula. Back in Anisimova to the forehand of Pagula. Pagula hits it out. 15-30. Pagula's got to hold here. She has to hold. She has to hold. 15-30. She's done well to fight back. But she has to hold here. Serving to the front of Anisimova. Backhand of Pagula sliced. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand. Into the front of Anisimova. Pagula with a slice on the stretch. Anisimova on the attack. Hits a winner. And it's 15-40. By the way, chat. Oh, wait. Pagula got it. Oh, I hate this court level camera so much. I hate this camera so much. WTA, what are you doing? Dubai, what are you doing? Anisimova hits a winner eventually. This camera is the worst. How are you supposed to see what's going on when you have a court level camera that is garbage? What are you doing? I'm just mad because I messed up, but I'm also mad because I couldn't see Pagula and she got it back and that was a great pickup and they completely missed it because we were focusing on the court level camera. That was what a stupid camera. We missed Pagula doing some great defense. Anyways, good serve, 30-40. Court level camera sucks. It's a bad viewing experience. Get rid of it. She was off the screen and it looked like Anisimova hit a winner. But Pagula got it and we completely missed the action. Wow. Bad camera angle. Good for replays, agree. Bad for competition. Bad for rallies. Give us an overview because you missed out on one of the most important gets of the rally. You completely missed it. I missed it because it was off the screen. Main camera off. Yeah, somebody pull the plug. Anyways, backhand to backhand rally. Still break point here, 30-40. As Anisimova again to the backhand of Pagula. Anisimova backhand again, the backhand of Pagula. Sliced. Into the backhand slice of Anisimova. Anisimova in the net. We get to deuce. Court level camera is good for some things, probably for warm-ups or for replays, but not in the main play. Not during live play. Come on now. It can be it's like watching it misses shit. You miss stuff. Forehand to forehand rally now. Backhand from Anisimova. That's a good shot. Pagula gets it. Anisimova. Forehand down the middle. Pagula there with the backhand to the backhand of Anisimova. Anisimova in the net. And it's advantage Pagula to take the lead here in the second. All right. Advantage Pagula. Advantage Pagula. As Pagula serves. The backhand Anisimova. Oh, return winner. Okay. Okay. Back to deuce. What a return. Huge backhand return. All right. Pagula serves again. Serving the front of Anisimova. Front of Pagula. Goes long. Advantage Anisimova. Another poor miss. All right. Advantage Anisimova. To take the break again. As we return. To the back of Pagula. Back in Anisimova. Into the net. Back to deuce. Pagula is great. She always makes it to the semis or finals, and she doesn't win trophies. I mean, she does. Anyways, Pagula hits it out, and it's advantage Anisimova. I'm kind of annoyed. I pay Tennis TV, but I can't watch. It only broadcasts men's. Well, yeah, but you can get WTA TV for the women. Advantage Anisimova. Pagula's underrated. I agree. 100%. All right, return gets backhand of Pagula. Anisimova to the slice of Pagula. Anisimova forehand down the line again. Pagula gets on the stretch. Anisimova backhand down the line. Pagula can't get there. Anisimova points to her head and takes the break 4-3. Which service should I have? Well, WTA TV is the women's equivalent, so that's always... That's how I watch the WTA during the year. The purpose of the court level camera is to make the viewers realize how quick the game really is. And do you work for the WTA? Are you trying to justify the shit camera angle? What are you doing this? What are you doing? I'm going to say the opposite of what everyone else in the chat is thinking. Okay. Don't try to defend that shitty camera angle. Nobody likes it. All right. I like Jess and I like Amanda. Hey, well, one of them's going to win. So you have a favorite in the final. So we've got Gauff versus Federline after this. I'm a tennis noob. That's all right. Yeah, tennis is a little bit segmented when it comes to watching events. And then the Grand Slams are all over the place. You didn't ask, but I'm watching from Cincinnati. Rita, welcome back. Thank you for watching. All right, 4-3. Anisimova has the break again. She tries to take her spot in the final. Is it a fault second serve? Rematch between Coco and Eala is entertainment. It could be, yeah. All right, double fault Anisimova, 15. Love 15. Yep, Svitolina did beat Coco in the AO. All right, love 15. As the return goes in the forehand of Anisimova. Anisimova in the net. Your encyclopedia should explain why the tennis scoring is 15, 30, 40 and not 1, 2, 3. That's a good one. That's actually, good point. I think I put like tennis scoring in there. I think that was on my list, like the I can give you a little bit of off the top of my head. I think it was because of the it's all to do with time. Love 30 as that goes out by Anisimova, love 40. So the reason it's 15, 30, 40 game is because of the quarters of hours, right? So 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Now, why isn't it 45? Then it's 40. I have to do some more research why, but 4 games is supposed to be the four parts of a clock. And that's also, I think, why it's 6 games, because 6 hours is like a quarter of a day, and then 12 hours is like, if you win 12 games, that's like 12 hours. It's all to do with the clock and time. I think that's what I've... but there was a reason why it went from 45 to 40. As Anisimova hit the smash. And we get to 15-40. There was a reason why it was supposed to be 45, but they said 40 instead. Was it because 45 is hard to say in French? It could be. But yeah, it's to do with the quarters, 4 quarters on the clock. That's why it's 4 points. Also, I think maybe like 40 all. I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the 40 there was some significant reason. Anyways, good pickup by Anisimova, but Pagula with a slice down the line. Anisimova can't get it. There's the break back. 4-0. Yeah, okay, so two or three people have said the same thing. Yeah, so they made it 40 because 45 is hard to say in French. There you go. So yeah. And then I think like the 6 games again was because of the 6 hours in a 24-hour day. So like 12 games to win a match. I think that all had significance as well. Because back in the day, it was first a 6, but tie breaks weren't a thing when tennis was invented. Tie breaks came in much later. Like tie breaks came in, I think, in like the 70s, maybe early 70s was the when the tie break became a thing. But yeah, so I think that it all relates to a clock. 15 love. Anisimova. So Pagula breaks back. All right, an ace from Pagula. Because you need 2 points, but 45 is 1 point to 60. What? That doesn't... I don't understand what you're saying. I wanted to ask you... Did you see Menchik's post-match interview? Isn't that what we were saying about the young guns being fearless? 100%. I did hear what he said, and I watched his post-match, like post-match, not the one straight after the match, but the one that he did off the court, to the side of the court, and that was yeah. I just love the way he's going about it. I'm a big fan of these young guys who are coming in, going just playing aggression. Tiebreak started the US Open 1970. Yeah. It's a really interesting story about the tiebreak. Anyway, it's 4-1 winner there from Pagula, 40-15. Because, yeah, sets used to be win by 2. So if you look back in the 60s, some of the sets are like, the first set was like 9-8 or 9-7. Or like, the second set was 12-10. And you're like, holy shit, how did they do that? But they serve and volleyed, so the points were shorter. 40-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova to the forehand of Pagula. Anisimova forehand in the net. There it is, 5-4. Pagula leads. Please don't put scores in the chat. I have a scoreboard for that, and no need to do that. All right, Pagula leads 5-4. And it will be Anisimova serving to stay in the set. But yeah, tennis is there's a lot of history behind tennis, and if you dig deep enough, you'll find out there's a lot of random things that have happened in this game. It's been going for like 150 years, and that's just like the circuit. I mean, there've been probably 200 years worth of stuff that's gone on. It has got a long and very interesting. There's so many different parts of the game that just don't get explored as well. All right. Pagula really is amazing. She's a fighter. She fights. All right, here we go. Pagula is going to... Sorry, Anisimova is going to serve to stay in the set. Pagula's an ice queen. Yeah. She is rock solid. She's never lost to Anisimova. She has never lost to this lady. All right. Anisimova to serve. Into the back end of Pagula. Return goes back end of Anisimova. Pagula forehand. Into the forehand of Anisimova on the stretch. It goes long. It's love 15. Love 15. Return goes back and Anisimova. Pagula forehand slice. Anisimova with the backhand of Pagula. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula slice again. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula backhand pass. Anisimova volley in the net. It's love 30. All right. Love 30. Beautiful hitting from Pagula. Anisimova just didn't come to the net after that approach. She hit it and she kind of just stood on the service line. That was weird. She really didn't commit to the volley. She just stood back. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Pagula. Anisimova backhand into the slice of Pagula. Anisimova comes in with the volley and puts that one away. That was better. It's 15-30. $15-30. 10 out of the last 15 points Pagula has won. As the return goes in, the forehand, Anisimova in the net. And Pagula has 2 set points to take us to a third. All right, 15-40. Serve to the backhand, but it's a left. All right, serve into the forehand of Pagula. Good return to the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula backhand to the backhand of Anisimova into the forehand of Pagula. Cross court in the forehand of Anisimova. Down the line out of the slice of Pagula. Anisimova backhand. Cross court again to the backhand of Pagula. Pagula in the net. One save. 30-40. 30-40. I can see Gauff starting at 4 a.m. your country. We've still got Alcaraz coming up too. All right, set point number 2, 30-40. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Pagula, and this is over forehand. That goes out. We're going 3, baby. We are on fire with 3 setters. We just can't stop watching them. All right. 6-4. Pagula takes the second. We're going 3 again. 3 sets all day. All day, every day. We only watch 3 setters, apparently. All right. Here we go. Pagula takes us to a third. Also, she's going to serve first in the third, which is massive. 9 winners, 5 errors. Pagula, much better. And Anisimova actually played better as well. 15 winners, 11 errors, which is weird to say because she lost. But better from both players. There was just a lot more break chances. So the serving of both dropped down. And Anisimova's first serve percentage, points won, dropped significantly. But yeah, Pagula wasn't that far away in that first set. She just was getting overpowered. But then she started making the returns, starting to get into it. And she made it count. All right. We're going 3. We're going 3. Half an hour ago, I thought Pagula was going to lose. Well, she was. I mean, there was a lot of... there was a chance for, I think, Anisimova to go up a double break in the second. All right. All right, Pagula's going to serve first final set. Here we go. Final on the line. Yeah, Pagula was down a break in the second set, and in the second set, yeah. I need Pagula to win just 2 games to cover the 6.5 bet. Okay. Fingers crossed. All right, Pagula's serving for the first game of the third. Who's winning the third set, chat? Let me know. Anisimova forehand in the net. It's 15 love. What a surprise from Amanda. Started so strong, then giving up points. Yeah, but you got to credit Pagula too. She stayed tough. She's a winner down the line. Pagula, 30 love. $30 love. Serve again. All right, nice hitting from Anisimova that time. 30. 30-15. All right, as Anisimova hits that one wide, and it's 40-15 Pagula. All right, return goes into the forehand of Anisimova, and Anisimova hits it out. 1-love Pagula, final set. Final set. All right, let's see if Anisimova can serve better in this final set. All right, 15 love, good serve to start. As Anisimova hits another winner. 30 love. And the return goes into the backhand of Anisimova. Backhand of Pagula, the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand. In the net, 40 love. Probably one of the worst collapses of the year. She's lost it mentally. It was an easy match. She needs a mental coach. Jeez, you're writing a lot of things. You're writing a lot of words. Anyways, 40-15. Serving to the backhand of Pagula. Backhand from Anisimova to the backhand of Pagula. Sliced. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand of the stretch. And then, Anisimova with a drive volley in the net. 40-30. 40-30. Anisimova serves again. Serve again. 40-30. As the backhand return goes the forehand of Anisimova. Backhand of Pagula. Into the slice. Anisimova in the net. We get the deuce. All right. Pagula trying to get that break early. By the way, Svitolina versus Gauff is coming on straight after this. All right. Deuce. Anisimova needs first serves. That serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve in the forehand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova. Into the forehand of Pagula as Anisimova forehand to the backhand of Pagula. Sliced. Into the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula backhand. Again to the backhand of Anisimova. Sliced. Pagula goes wide. And it's advantage Anisimova. Advantage Anisimova to take the first game on her side. Advantage Anisimova. Seven to the backhand, Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova. Pagula backhand. Anisimova backhand down the line wide. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. As we serve out wide, the forehand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova. As Pagula puts up a lob. But it goes out. Advantage Anisimova. And an ace. All right. Anisimova holds. 1-1. 1-1 in the third. All right, back to Pagula. All right. As Anisimova hits that one out, 15 love. As Anisimova comes to the net, Pagula puts up a lob. Anisimova with a smash, put away. 15-all. 15-all. As we another fault, second serve. Return goes down the line from Anisimova. Great return. She comes in with a forehand and puts it away. 15-30. She almost hit it long. She thought she hit it long, I think, for a second when she went for the forehand. All right, 15-30. As the return goes out this time. And it's 30 all. As Pagula with another good serve. And it's 40-30. First serve is a fault, second serve. And she double faults. All right, we get the deuce. All right, we get the deuce. As we're back in a backhand rally. Anisimova again, the backhand of Pagula to the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula, forehand to the slice of Anisimova, but Anisimova in the net on the forehand slice. She's laughing because I think she thought, why did I do that silly shot? All right, advantage, Pagula. As we get a forehand from Anisimova to the backhand Pagula. Anisimova hits a backhand winner. All right, back to deuce. Another big shot from Anisimova. Back to deuce. As Anisimova with another return, but it's long. Advantage Pagula. Nice hitting from Pagula, sorry. Great shot again. That's the shot she was meant to hit the first time, yeah. All right, as the return goes short, Pagula backhand, and Anisimova slice open court. It's too good. All right, back to deuce. And Pagula can't believe she didn't win that point because she had a sitter. All right, back to deuce. Back to deuce. As she serves a fault, second serve. As Anisimova backhand on the stretch, Pagula goes down the line with the backhand of the forehand of Anisimova. Hits the line, up goes a lob by Pagula. Anisimova hits the forehand cross-court again to the forehand of Pagula. Into the forehand of Anisimova. Anisimova in the net, advantage Pagula. Advantage Pagula to take the lead back. Advantage Pagula. As that goes out by Pagula, we're back to deuce. The marathon continues. Why don't I play tennis? Because I just don't have time. I wish I did play more tennis. I'm trying to play more tennis this year. All right, as Anisimova misses that one. And it's advantage Pegula. There's a bit of fault from Pagula, second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula slice. Anisimova comes in with a volley, but Pagula's got it with a forehand pass. All right, 2-1. Not a bad idea from Anisimova, just the execution wasn't there. All right, 2-1. Please don't put scores in the chat. All right. All right. 2-1. Pagula, final set. How we doing, chat? Where are we watching from? By the way, 3 Americans out of the 4 semi-finalists. That's pretty damn good. But where are we watching from? Let me know in the chat. Where are we watching from? Manila, hey, thanks for sticking around. We got Los Angeles, Japan, Boston, Pennsylvania, Kenya, Germany, Palm Springs, Birmingham, Vegas, USA, Jamaica, Madrid, Virginia, Long Island. Do I like India? Yes. I haven't been to India, but I'm sure it's lovely. I love the food. Cincinnati, Philippines, Johannesburg, Madrid, Trinidad, Dubai, Philippines, Hong Kong, Rhode Island, where else? Indonesia, Delaware, Copenhagen, Poland, Colombo, South Africa. All right, 2-1. Pagula with the final set lead, but it's still on serve. All right, so return goes in the forehand of Anisimova. Pagula forehand to the forehand of Anisimova. Into the forehand of Pagula. Pagula hits a winner. I love 15. Stockholm, Paris, Kentucky, Orlando, Trinidad and Tobago, Bournemouth. I've been to Bournemouth. Love 15. I've been to where they surf in Bournemouth. I went down to that pier and saw them surfing. I think that was Bournemouth. Maybe. Was that Brighton? Brighton Pier. I don't know. I think I've been to both. 15-0. There's a default second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova and goes long. 15-30. Okay. Chance for Pagula to get a break here. 15-30. All right, serve again. There's a default second serve. As the return goes in the net by Pagula. 30-all. 30-all. Also, chat, we're almost at 400 likes. Come on, we can get a 500 by the end of this match, surely. By the way, Anisimova is struggling a little bit to try and get through this moment. 30-all. First serve's a fault, second serve. But she's never beaten Pagula before. Serve to the back of Pagula. Return goes forward of Anisimova. Oh, Anisimova in the nets. 30-40. Break point for Pagula in the final set here. All right. 30-40. As the backhand return goes short into the forehand of Anisimova. And Anisimova hit it long. Oh, just missed. She started to celebrate. She thought she hit the line. Hawkeye said no, this much. Pagula breaks 3-1. Final set. She just overhit it. 3-1. All right, Pagula. Final set. As Pagula serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As with a backhand slice from Pagula. Anisimova forehand down the line. Pagula backhand pass. Anisimova volleys. Pagula can't get it. All right, love 15. That was a great volley by Anisimova. Love 15. All right. As Pagula serves a fault, second serve. Serving to the back end of Anisimova. Return goes out. 15-0. And we do have Alcaraz taking on Rublev very shortly. And then Menchik taking on Feast. Very fun matches. And we've got Coco taking on Svitolina after this. Pagula serves, 15-0. Serving to the back end of Anisimova. Return goes wide. And it's 30-15. As the return goes into the back of Pagula. Forehand now from Pagula into the back of Anisimova. Pagula hits it in the net and it's a 30-all. 30-all chance for Anisimova to get back on serve. Thirty-all. Do a fault second serve. Second serve the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula backhand into the backhand of Anisimova, but Anisimova hits it out. 40-30 Anisimova. Sorry, 40-30 Pagula. Anisimova goes long. $40-30. His return goes in the back into Pagula. Back into Anisimova down the line. Pagula with a pass. Anisimova volley. Pagula with the backhand. Anisimova volleys. Pagula puts up a lob. It goes in. Anisimova can't get it. Great work, Pagula. 4-1 final set. All right. All right, 4-1. Final set. Did I bet on Anisimova to win? No. I love Amanda, but she makes me angry sometimes. Yeah, look, she hasn't beaten Pagula before, so you knew that it was going to get into her head that she was close, or at least maybe she was going to doubt herself, you know? JPEG beat Amanda in Wuhan too? Maybe. No, I don't think it was in Wuhan this year. They hadn't played for a while since before the Australian Open. They hadn't played for like 2 years. So, yeah, it had been a while. We've had all great matches since yesterday. I know, right? Crazy. All right. And this over to serve. A fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Pagula. Forehand from Anisimova into the slice of Pagula. Anisimova forehand down the line. Pagula with a pass. Anisimova with a volley. Too good. All right, 15 love. Pagula hates losing to Americans. What is her record against Americans, I wonder? Because, yeah, she does seem to beat most of the Americans. You're not wrong. She doesn't seem to lose to many Americans. She usually loses. She doesn't usually lose to them, does she? Have a look. What's her record against Americans? It must be pretty good. $128 to 55 losses. Last time she lost to American was last year in Wuhan final against Gauff. She lost to Keys in Adelaide last year. She lost to two Americans last year. She lost to Gauff and Keys the 2 times before that. So the last 5 Americans, Gauff, Keys, Gauff, Keys, Gauff. She lost to Townsend back in Rome 2023. And then Van der Wey she lost to in Charleston 2022. So yeah, since like the start of like the midpoint of 2021, she's lost to like 7 Americans. But she's beaten a lot of them. Is she the? I mean, she doesn't have a Grand Slam, so it's hard to say she's better than Coco or Keys. But is she the? She might be the best American player against Americans. I mean, she might be the top American versus Americans. 46-10 since the start of 2021. She's lost to Kennan, Brady, Van der Wey, Townsend, Keys, Gauff. That's it. So that's it. And if you want to go a little bit further, so since post French Open 21, she is 46-7 against Americans. mid-2021 to now. So almost 5 years, she's 46 wins, 7 losses against Americans. That's crazy. And she's about to go to get this one as well. I mean, that's crazy. That's a crazy stat. 40-30. Anisimova serves. Into the back of Pagula. Anisimova forehand to the forehand of Pagula. Into the back of Anisimova. Pagula wins a point. Anisimova in the net. We get the deuce. All right, we get to deuce. All right, serve again from Anisimova. Serve and volley Anisimova, okay. Pagula puts up a lob, but it goes long. Advantage Anisimova. Advantage Anisimova. All right, as Anisimova makes another error and it's back to deuce. All right, good serve that time, and it's back advantage. Advantage Anisimova. As with a backhand slice, drop shot from Pagula, and Anisimova gets it back. Pagula with a pass. Anisimova volleys it away. All right, good hold. And it's 4-2. 4-2. Pagula and Anisimova holds. All right. All right, first serve is a vault, second serve. All right, as Anisimova comes to the net and puts it away, and it's love 15. All right. As Anisimova makes another error 15 on. She's getting angry at herself. All right. 30-15. Good serving from Pagula. 30-15. As Pagula serves the fault, second serve. As the return goes in from Anisimova to the forehand of Pagula. Pagula in the net. All right, 30-all. Big point here. And an ace down the tee. Clutch from Pagula. All right, 40-30. Pagula to stay in front. As Pagula comes in net with a slice drop shot, and then Anisimova gets it, but Pagula puts away the backhand. 5-2 Pagula. She's just a little better when things get when things need to be. She serves an ace at 30-all, and she hits a lovely shot down the line to win the game and get to 5-2. All right. Okay. There's only two things in any sports you win and lose. That is true. I mean, sometimes you draw though. Sometimes. Sometimes you can draw. That happens too. All right. 15 love, Pagula. Sorry, Anisimova trying to finish it off here and to make the final of another 1,000. I mean, Pagula is sneaky good and very underrated. I don't think anyone was predicting her to do well or make the final here, you know, with the amount of good names, big names that were here. All right, good shot from Anisimova though, 30 love. And straight after this, we've got Gauff versus Svitolina. And then we go to and then we go and watch Doha as well. Alcaraz versus Rublev at the same time. Ace from Anisimova. 40 love. And another ace. Good serving. Great serving from Anisimova. Okay. Anisimova takes the game, but Pagula's going to serve for the match. All right. 5-3. All right, 5-3. Here we go. Pagula serving to get to the final. Two hours have been played. This has been a proper semi-final. I'll tell you what, Anisimova has played a couple of bangers the last two matches. She has played some bangers. As that goes out from Pagula, and it's 15. Out from Anisimova. Pagula 15 love. All right, 3 points away. 15 love. We had a fault second serve. As the return goes out by Anisimova, and it's 30 love. Two points away. We get another fault second serve. As a return goes in the backhand of Pagula, and Anisimova back into the forehand of Pagula, and Anisimova forehand to the forehand of Pagula, into the backhand of Anisimova. Pagula with a slice. Anisimova comes to the net. No, she's hit back. Pagula comes to the net. Anisimova puts up a lob. Pagula puts it away. Oh, there was a chance for Anisimova. She should have gone in. All right. Match points, Pagula. 40 love. To take her spot in the final of another 1,000 final. Serve. Into the forehand is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Pagula, and Anisimova forehand. Into the forehand of Pagula on the stretch. Anisimova. Forehand goes long. Pagula's into the final. She can't lose to Anisimova. But she looks stuffed. All right. Pagula makes the final. And I'll tell you, Anisimova got closer, but Pagula fights her way through. And she's into the final of Dubai. And she's going to play Svitolina or Gauff, and she can probably beat both of them. So she's got to like her chances, especially because Raducanu and Sabalenka out the way. And those two have been a problem for Pagula in big finals at times. So Pagula, she's got to be the favorite, right? She's got to be the favorite, right? All right. GG's. And Anisimova is going to have to figure out how to beat Pagula, because Pagula stopped her a couple of times now in big tournaments. And it is not fun for Anisimova to play Pagula. She'd probably rather have played Coco. All right. First semi-final over. I'm going to send you over the next one. It's starting a little bit later than we expected. It was supposed to start an hour ago, but usually means that some of the matches are getting good if they're pushing other matches out of the way. So jump on over here. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Pagula, Anisimova, by the way, really not happy after that. smacking her bag and shoving her rackets into her bag aggressively as she tries to leave the court. All right. But Pagula wins. She's in the final. We're going to find out who she's going to play. 1-6, 6-4, 6-3. Pagula fights back. She's into another 1,000 final. Coco versus Svitolina coming up next.